my actual eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center. Go, go, go. We're out of here. We're out of here. Say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A dog pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
Game 2 of 2 in today's festivities. Oh, all right. You know, it would kind of help if I picked up the microphone. Let's try that again. Game 2 of 2 in today's festivities are upon us, as it's the RCGC Roadrunners and the Camden County College Cougars squaring off in another 7 innings of JUCO action right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. For Game 1, John Scanzano described it very simply as the head coach in his second year as a Cougar for Camden County. He said it was disappointing. He took over a program with 12 kids last year and has doubled it in his second year as a head coach. Of course, he is one of the most influential travel coaches in South Jersey with his Scanzano Combat program, but taking over a community college and going 5-20 in his first year, he wanted a better start to 2024, and he didn't get it. But now, Jonah Jackson and friends are going to look to remedy and make up for that loss in Game 2, or rather in Game 1, with a much better performance in Game 2. Jonah Jackson and the friends are taking the field right now. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's Game 2 twin matchup of the doubleheader. It's going to be Gavin Degnan in center field for the RCGC Roadrunners. Gavin Doolin at the DH. Ernesto Polanco at short, RJ Mestero in right, D'Alessandro in left, Peralta at second base. It's going to be Lombardi behind the plate for the Roadrunners in the 7th spot. Spacavento goes to first at the 8th spot, Reyes at third, and Haddon Heights alum Mason Dobbs is going to throw on the mound at Rutgers Camden here for this Game 2. For Camden County, it's going to be Tyler Napoli at short, Cam Minotti at second base, Nick Napoli in left field. Kyle Leiser moves up to the catcher's spot, so he has played 3 different positions today, DH, pitcher, and catcher, the super utility man. He bats 4th. It'll be Ethan Arter batting 5th at the first base spot. Nate Ifey of Haddon Township, or rather of Collingswood, plays 3rd base at the 6th spot. It's going to be Gavin Callahan in right field batting 7th. It is going to be number 99, EJ Berger of Overbrook. He will bat at the DH spot, batting 8th. Then it's going to be Guevara in center field, batting in the 9th spot. Jonah Jackson of Pennsauken on the hill in Game 2. There's our starting lineups. I will turn the camera over here, and Jonah Jackson is going to make his Camden County College debut in the blue and white in one of the biggest stages of South Jersey baseball. We'll keep it right here as we've got JUCO action right on the way between Camden County and RCGC in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. I'm Dan Wilkins with my producer Donna to my left. We've got an excellent game on hand for what was a relative dud in Game 1. Now we're going to see how we fare in Game 2 of this affair. So the battery of Jonah Jackson and Kyle Leiser get their first reps here in 2024, and the first man at the plate will be Gavin Degnan, who reached on an error in the first at-bat of Game 1, and he reached base in all 3 of 4 of his appearances. So we'll see what he can do here in Game 2. First pitch to Gavin Degnan is upstairs and away, and we are underway, 1-0. Outside. (2-0) from Jackson. Curveball misses upstairs. 3-0. That'll be a 4-pitch walk. And we start off with a free pass to Degnan, much like game 1. Pretty similar auras here to start the second half of this doubleheader. Pretty similar lineups in game 2. As we said, only a couple of changes as Caden Degnan steps in, takes outside, 1-0. Degnan, the DH for both games. He'll be succeeded by Ernesto Polanco in the 3 spot. 1-0 count for number 1-0 as Jackson facing early traffic. Downstairs, 2-0. It's the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners and the Camden County College Cougars here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. All of our social medias are in the description of this YouTube video, including our Venmo at DW Broadcasting. We are a grassroots organization that is partly funded by viewers like you. Almost feels like I'm doing a PBS ad, but any and all contributions are appreciated. Of course, we love a like and a subscribe, but anything to help pay for gas money or food for our producers and myself and, all of the expenses that go into maintaining the equipment, getting replacement equipment, all appreciated. Another 4-pitch walk, 8 balls in the debut of Jonah Jackson. As Ernesto Polanco gets his first swings in game 2. Remember, any post-game interviews from game 1 or 2 will be after the conclusion of this game. That's ball number 9. Jackson has failed to throw a strike so far. 2 4-pitch walks back-to-back. And that always, when you're rattled like that, this is his collegiate debut. First ever time he's thrown in front of a collegiate audience, a collegiate mound. Obviously he's maybe getting a little early jitters, just like Degnan did in game 1. And those bases loaded walks, they're partially what started the unraveling of that game before it even started. There is his first strike, but it came after 10 consecutive balls. It's 2-1. 2-1, 2 on, no out. Jackson looks back at second. Hot shot off of Jackson's glove. They're going to turn 2. Throw to first. Gonna get him. Nice. Got himself a 4-6-3, and I think Jackson can breathe a little as it moves the runner to third, but puts 2 outs on the board for Mastero. That's always a good feeling as a pitcher when you know that your team is behind you. It's going to be a 4-6-3 double play as it sets Mastero up with a runner in scoring position, but 2 outs in the frame. Start time of this game was 3:55 p.m. Game 1 started at 1 o'clock, actually 12:55. It was almost a 3-hour game. It was a long haul for both of these teams, just because in doubleheaders, game 1 can usually be a little slower than game 2. Mastero's going to drop a 2-out bunt, but it will trickle foul down towards third base and down towards Ify. Nate Ify, the Collingswood former wrestler and baseball player. We'll be covering Collingswood actually here on Friday, April 5th, when they play against Cherry Hill East in some out-of-conference play. That's going to be a 3 o'clock start here. And, of course, that is the eve before the Ralph Shaw tournament, one of the biggest tournaments we cover in South Jersey, in Audubon, Eustis and Kingsway, and then Sentiments and Audubon. That one is way high. You can see Jackson shaking his hand, just kind of acknowledging that That ball got away from him. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he's got his first strikeout, and it's a big one. Pennsauken meet Gloucester Catholic. Jonah Jackson records his first collegiate strikeout, and it's in a big spot as they hold RCGC to no runs. We go to the bottom of the first. The Cougars get their first chance to bat. We'll be right back after this. Bottom of the first inning here from Rutgers Camden. It is Mason Dobbs on the hill for RCGC, the Haddon Heights alum, who we saw pitch many a times, whether it was versus Audubon or in any of the other competitions that they had. Mason Dobbs, we even saw him with the Rough Riders in the Summer League. He is an excellent pitcher, a wild fastball, and not even in a wild as in a bad way, just wildly good. I don't even know how we can turn that into something good, but Dobbs is just, he's an excellent character. He's always locked in and focused, and that's what makes him special. His first batter as a collegiate pitcher will be Tyler Napoli, the shortstop, who shows bunt, pulls back, but it is a called strike. It'll be Napoli, Christian Caminotti, and Nick Napoli. Who are the first three for the Cougars. Hot shot into right field, sliding stop, and the throw to first is in time. Nice play out there at second base by Peralta to slide into that turf and make a smooth play. And there's one away. Very quickly, one away. Seems like these guys are already making harder contact than they were in game one. You know, when we were talking with John Scanzano, one of the things he told us was that, look, he was not expecting the game to be that lopsided. He didn't expect it to be that out of hand. He thought they were going to put up more of a fight than that. And he said he knows we're the underdogs. You're facing the Junior College World Series champions, but he thought he would put up a better show than that. Back-to-back 4-3 groundouts. And breezing along here for batter number 2, Nick Napoli. Camden County did change their uniforms. They were wearing white in game 1, and they've switched to a navy blue alternate in game 2. RCGC, though, staying consistent with the black tops. Can't wait for when we have a night game with Rutgers Camden and they bring out the black and red pinstripes. Oh, my gosh. I'll show you during the break. They are spectacular. All of their uniforms are spectacular in my mind, but I think Rutgers Camden with their black and red pinstripes, and even what we saw back in April, the red alternate jerseys that kind of mimic the St. Louis Cardinals a little bit. There's some excellent threads, I'll tell you that. The 0-2, Dobbs working fast, and the curveball was so fast that popped out of the catcher's glove. Popped out of the glove of the Lombardi. Speaking of catchers, Kyle Leiser is on deck, the Timber Creek alum who has played 3 positions today: DH, pitcher, and catcher. That's not easy to do, especially in a doubleheader. The 1-2 pitch. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the same top 3 are consistent from games 1 and 2 for both lineups. Fastball misses a little high. Dobbs a little rattled, and it's 3-2. Dobbs just has to calm down here. You know, his biggest flaw has been that he gets into trouble and then doesn't know how to work out of it. But I know if he's a Roadrunner, he's good enough so that he can get out of those jams. That is a walk to Nick Napoli. Oh. You know, I thought it looked funny. Yeah, Kyle Leiser almost went up to the plate with his shin guards on. You know, I remember one time back when I think when Dwight Howard was on the Lakers, he tried checking into a game with his warm-up shirt still on. Yeah. He didn't take off the warm-up and he didn't put on the jersey. I once accidentally played a Little League game in sneakers. That's true. Left my cleats at home, had my sneakers on. Nobody noticed. Not a coach, not an umpire, nobody. That is a foul ball headed out to Delaware Ave. But it's not like I was playing some competitive travel ball. It was literally just Little League. I think I got a hit that day for the Lions. 1-1.
We still have the ball.
That is true. I don't think it was my first hit, but it's 1-2. I mean, during my last year of actually playing Little League, I wasn't that bad. I think I had like 8 hits. Yep. I was getting knocks. 1-2 to Leiser. Downstairs, and that's going to be a stolen base for Napoli. If the inning were to continue, Ethan Arter is on deck. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a scoreless first. Oh, that one hit the catcher's mask. That's a live ball. That is a live ball, and he's going to get into third base safely. You know what? That didn't hit the catcher's mask. That hit the umpire's mask. The home plate umpire seems okay, but Scanzano's got to come out and check on him. But well, actually, hold on here. I don't know. I think they're going to let it stand. They're going to let Napoli go to third. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We'll see if he can keep that runner at bay. Oh, Leiser put 110% into that one, but it's foul. Yeah, because technically that is a live ball. Whether it hits the catcher's mask or the umpire's mask, that is a live ball, and nobody noticed it. And he got a free base. Leiser saws it off again. And that one barely stayed in the complex. Three balls, 2 strikes, 90 feet away from a Camden County run. That's a shot in the center field, base hit. Coming home is going to be Napoli, and an RBI single for Kyle Leiser makes it 1-0 Cougars. After being shut out and shellacked for 7 innings, the Cougars get on the board first with a shot back up the middle from Kyle Leiser, the super utility man. And this is going to bring up Ethan Arter. Outside, 1-0. Arter, the first baseman. Ahead in the count, 1-0 to start. Kicks and delivers. That's a shot back up the middle, but this will be playable at short, and the fielder's choice is recorded to retire the side. After 1, Kyle Leiser gets an RBI single for Camden County, the first run of today's doubleheader. We'll be right back after this. It's a 1-0 Cougar lead after 1. Thank you, though. 1-0 after 1 inning here at Rutgers Camden. Jonah Jackson stepping back in to face Max D'Alessandro, our player of the game from the first half of this doubleheader. He will now face the Pennsauken native with a first pitch ripper foul. 5, 6, and 7. D'Alessandro to left fielder Peralta, and the catcher Lombardi outside. His dugout hyping up Jonah Jackson here with a 1-1 outside.
Jonah, it sounded like they were saying donuts.
No, 2-1. D'Alessandro, Peralta, and Lombardi are the 3 due up here for RCGC in the top of the second. Oh, if he can just turn that around and make it fair, then that's a homer. But we said it yesterday during the Rutgers-Camden game, this is one of the hardest ballparks in South Jersey to hit a home run in, and it has nothing to do with the dimensions. It's the wind. Ooh, a little bit of chin music there, 2-2. But yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10, the wind is blowing in, as it is today. But Jackson gets set and delivers to 3-2. Just clipped and just missed the inside for ball 4. And for the second inning in a row, Jackson surrenders a leadoff walk. The catcher on deck is Andrew Lombardi. First pitch upstairs from Jackson. 1-0. Juan Peralta from North Jersey, from Passaic, the sophomore out of Clifton High School. And another North Jersey product, or Central Jersey product, is on deck, as we said, the freshman Andrew Lombardi of Middletown North. But a good amount of South Jersey represented from RCGC, but also a good amount of North Jersey as well. You know, Caden Doolin from Williamstown, obviously South Jersey product, and then you go to the top of the order and you have Gavin Degnan of Donovan Catholic in the Shore Conference. Well, somebody is going to have to pick up that baseball. Because between D'Alessandro and Peralta, there's at least 4 that have gone out to Pearl Street and the Delaware Ave. 1-2. Jackson, no, he throws to first. The ball's going to skip away, but D'Alessandro does not have time to get up and advance. So he will hold, and Jackson escapes a potentially bad situation. Because the last thing you want when you know that your team is the underdog, the last thing you want is to make bad mistakes. And that would have been an E1 charged against Jackson, as there's a base hit in the left, so a moot point anyway, as Peralta gets a knock. And some ducks on the pond here with nobody out after a walk and a single for Andrew Lombardi. Lombardi, the catcher out of Middletown North, a freshman this year. They're going to call a balk against Jackson, and that will move both runners up. So interesting call there, but after looking back at the tape, I think that's the right call. So now the first official pitch of the at-bat. So runners on second and third. They just asked the Camden County dugout for more baseballs. They're starting to run out. Swing and a miss. Big hack from Lombardi. 0-2. With Spacavento on deck, the 0-2 upstairs. Lizer had to get out of the crouch for that one. That was a little more than letter high. As we said, Spacavento, the freshman lefty out of Northern Highlands. Up north, the lefty from Westfield. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But Middletown North, the orange and black, has had a very good baseball team the last couple of years. In Central Jersey, that one is fouled back. And luckily, it was hit low enough to stay in the park. I was going to say, they at least have some left, but making the exchange down there. Here we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball way up there, out towards shallow left center. 3 men are going for it, and calling. Making the catch is Napoli. And there's one away. So a pop out from Lombardi is the first out of the frame. Holds the runners at second and third. It was shallow enough. So here's the lefty from Westfield, Spacavento. Gets inside, had to scramble back. In the bottom of the second inning, it'll be Ify, Callahan, and Eric Berger. The Overbrook alum. We covered them last year in a game versus Woodstown, a game that Woodstown won 7-4. And the longest 7-inning baseball game for high school that we had ever covered up to that point. There's a ground ball out to Napoli. It will be an out, but a run will score. As coming across the plate is D'Alessandro, and we are tied up 1-1. So an RBI ground out from Spacavento. A 6-3 on the score. Downstairs. Downstairs to Gabriel Reyes, the number 9 hitter, who takes another miss. 1-1. Degnan is the leadoff hitter, and he is on deck if the inning were to continue. There's a line shot into right field, and that's going to give RCGC the lead. An RBI single, a bullet off the bat of Gabriel Reyes in the bottom of the order, contributing in waves. It's 2-1. You know, this kind of feels a little bit more like genuine offense in Game 2 than we've seen in Game 1. You know, two RBI singles and an RBI groundout have been responsible for these 3 runs so far, and it's outside. But, you know, like in the first inning, RCGC got off with a great start with those 3 bases loaded walks that led to RBIs. Throw over to first, excuse me, that is not in time, but you know, like it's a little bit more energizing when you score 2 runs based off of RBIs that come straight off your bat than off of not swinging the bat. Inside, 1-0, right around the belt area. Peralta scored on that RBI single. Degnan walked and made it to third, but was held there. Jonah Jackson, who threw 10 straight balls in the first inning, already starting to regress back to that same trouble. Throw over to first, a little low, but not in time. When you throw strings of balls like that, it takes the wind out of your sails. And sometimes 1 strike is all you need to turn the tide. Just like that, 3-1. You know, you've seen a lot of times where a 3-0 count can turn into a 3-2 count just like that. But then sometimes the opposite effect can happen. You're working really well. You go to an 0-2 count, you think you got it all, and then you just start to slip a little bit. Ground ball to third. Sliding stop by Napoli. Throw across, or excuse me, by Ify is not good enough. That's going to be a bounce throw that brings those runners to first and second. It'll be a base hit for Degnan. And that'll put 2 runners aboard for Doolin. It moves Reyes to second base. First pitch from Jackson. Misses away. But I'm really impressed with Kyle Iser, the fact that he's been so versatile in these 2 games. Like we said, he started out as the DH, came in for relief, in game 1, as there's a line shot back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. This is going to score 1, maybe 2. It's just going to be the 1, and it will be Reyes who scores on the RBI single by Degnan. And they'll keep the line moving. 3-1 RCGC. Well, Jackson got out of a big jam in the first inning, and he just has kind of had a lot more damage, a lot of collateral in the second. And sometimes there's not much you can do about that. But giving up 3 straight singles is sometimes going to hurt your pride. That one's fouled back, way back, and back on the Delaware Ave. So runners on first and third. Oh, 1. Curveball got jammed. You can tell that stings a little bit, but he'll get right back to it with Ernesto Polanco, and it's 0-2. If the inning were to continue, the cleanup man, RJ Mastero, is next. Polanco grounded into a 4-6-3 double play last time. This time it's going to bounce off of Ify, and there's going to be no play. Just took a shot off the chest on a bounce. That brings home another run. That being Degnan, who scores, and it is now 4-1. Well, sometimes in baseball, offense comes in bunches, and that's exactly what we've seen here. Not really anything of Jackson's fault. You know, I wouldn't say his defense really let him down, but 4 straight singles. You know, I'd say, hey, look, you know, giving up 4 straight singles is not as bad as giving up 4 straight walks or 4 straight errors. You know, exactly. Like, well, no, I'm saying that, that throw just got into center field. That's going to be an error on Jackson. Just threw it low. So, speaking of errors, there's one right there. Degnan advances to third, Polanco to second. But, again, simple mistakes like that are kind of what differentiate a county college and a community college from the reigning JUCO World Series champion. On fouled back, but I mean, not to discredit Camden County or anything, but look, you know, John Scanzano, he's an excellent mentor, he's an excellent developmental coach, and he runs one of the biggest travel ball organizations in South Jersey. You know, most of these guys who are playing on his team right now have gone through his program. They've played for his travel teams, they've played for his programs, they've trained at his facilities. So it's much more of a closer bond for basically all 9 guys on this diamond that are within 30 minutes of a driving distance to each other. As we said, RCGC has a couple players from Philly, a couple players from New York, decent amount of players from North and Central Jersey, just like the catcher Lombardi, who came from Middletown North, and then you had Spacavento, who comes from Westfield. That's a slow chopper that's going to be waved off. I guess it hit the batter on the swing. Runners on second and third with a 4 spot in the second for RCGC. With RJ Mastero at the dish. This is the 9th batter of the frame. He struck out to end the first. We'll see if he can avoid the same fate this time around. He will not. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mastero, and both of them are to end the inning. Jonah Jackson gets out of it, but not before allowing 4 runs, including 4 straight singles. We go to the bottom of the second, 1.5 done here at Camden County College, or rather here at Rutgers Camden, 4-1. Bottom of the second inning, first pitch, swing and a miss. We've got a Patco train. Haven't seen one of those in a while today. No wonder why it's been so quiet here at Camden. I thought it was like every 15 minutes a train went over the bridge, but they also might not run as much on nights and weekends. 0-2. Very quickly 0-2 to number 21, that being Mr. Nate Ifey of Collingswood. Of course, right from around here, 1-2 count in his first collegiate at-bat. Did not appear in game one. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Dobbs. Actually, his first strikeout of the night. That is out number 1 for Gavin Callahan, the right fielder. Moved a little bit down in the lineup today. He was in the 5th spot in game 1. Moved down to the 7 hole for game 2. And they just turned the lights on here. Whoa, look out. That's a foul ball. And you didn't even flinch.
There's a giant net there.
Yeah, but like your brain sees a baseball coming at you and you don't flinch?
I'm too tired to flinch. I'm too cold.
Come on.
Come on. I'm too cold. I'm frozen.
Oh my gosh. That's upstairs. And it skips away. 1-1. Overbrook's Eric Berger is on deck, wearing the number 99. High, 2-1. To Callahan. He holds back on the fastball, 3-1. Dobbs has been pretty reliant on the fastball in these early innings. Three balls, 1 strike. Gets sawed off and fouls it the other way. Got jammed. I guess you can't really get sawed off with a metal bat, but
No.
you get the analogy. He got jammed,
Yeah.
hit it off the handle. And those, especially in the cold weather, no matter how much
That hurt.
warm gear, it hurts. That is ball 4. Callahan reaches. You know, you got to remember, some of these guys, especially the South Jersey guys, have faced Dobbs before. Nate Ifey, Collingswood, Mason Dobbs, Heights. They're both Colonial Conference guys. They faced each other twice a year for the 4 years that they played against each other. And here is Eric Berger of Overbrook, the DH tonight in game 2.
Oh, that explains the comment. The comment that we got on our live chat was burger time. Now I understand what that means.
Yes, Eric Berger. He's a fan favorite over in Pine Hill. And he's got a younger brother who's a sophomore who's going to keep the Berger tradition alive. Outside, 2-0.
I thought they were referring to the now defunct Audubon restaurant Burger.
No. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Runner on first. Callahan taking a decent lead. High chopper out to short. Picked up. They'll go straight to first, but the throw gets away. And Berger will hold it first, but going down to third will be Callahan. The E6 puts runners on the corners and puts Camden County in a prime position. Well, that was big right there. You know, especially in a situation like this where, again, Camden County is the underdogs here. You know, I don't think anybody's going to argue that. I don't think anybody's going to contest that.
No.
But if you can capitalize on their mistakes, then you can make yourselves known and put them in a sticky situation. Gavura is the last up here. It's the 9-hole hitter. So Callahan on third, Berger on first, and now RCGC's pitching coach will come out and meet with Dobbs. Dobbs so far with 1 strikeout, 1 hit allowed, but that error really changed things for them because it changed the trajectory of the inning. They thought bottom of the order, they shouldn't have a problem, and now things are a little different. They've got traffic, they've only got 1 out in the inning. That's going to be difficult. If they surrender a run, then you got to see what you have cooking, what you got cooking in the kitchen. I was going to say, I don't know why I bought a whole bunch of cold drinks because...
We need some hot chocolate.
Exactly. 1 ball, no strikes after the pitching change. Here comes a bunt that goes right in front of the mound. Here comes the runner to the plate, but now he's going to be caught up. Callahan will be tagged out at third. And that's a great way to hold the runner. That is why teams like this compete for national titles. Plays like that, smart baseball plays, and not, overzealous trying to get 2 outs at once. They just tried to get the 1. They trapped Callahan. I honestly don't know why he ran from home, because you had runners on first and third. Berger could have ran to second base, and it could have been an easy sacrifice. But instead of sacrificing it, it just ended up becoming like a suicide squeeze, and just not what you need in that situation, especially when you need to get runs on the board before things could potentially get out of hand like it did in Game 1. Napoli grounded out to second his first time. No balls, 2 strikes to Napoli. The Napoli twins, both out of Timber Creek. Takes inside, but it is called strike 3. And in a crazy turn of events, RCGC makes sure that no runs come across despite 3 men getting on base. We go to the top of the third. Dobbs gets out of the jam. It's 4-1 Roadrunners. Okay. Line shot in the left field to start the third frame. D'Alessandro. 1 pitch, barely even got on air, and that's going to be a single. So the Alessandro gets a quick knock and a quick bunt from Peralta, but he pulls back. It's 1-0. One and one. One ball, one strike from Jackson. That one's outside, 2-1. Oh, here it is. I lost my pen, and then I realized it was in my pocket. Peralta ahead in the count, 2-1. Peralta singled his last time up and came around to score. Three-one. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Rutgers, Camden. It's only a shame that the weather couldn't be as nice as the sun and not a single cloud in the sky.
The sun is beautiful.
Yes. Full count. Fouled to the right side. D'Alessandro on first base, Peralta at the dish, and Andrew Lombardi follows after that. That is ball four. So he worked the count full and got the reap of the benefits. So back-to-back base runners for RCSJ. And now the pitching coach will come out and talk with Jackson. Kyle Leiser up there as well. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got South Jersey basketball action in the playoffs. In fact, tomorrow and Tuesday we will have basketball action. It will be St. Joe's Hamilton and Gloucester Catholic tomorrow at 5:30. And Tuesday will be Paulsboro and Pittman. Game will either be 5:30 or 7. Not sure yet who or when it will be, but I know it will be Tuesday in the evening. Lombardi shows bunt. Jackson delivers. He pulls back. Look how far up the line he was. Arter was ready for anything. So yeah, now we're starting to see that Petco line run a little more, but we hadn't seen it all day up until a couple minutes ago. I guess they're not as active on the weekends, although they were very active on Saturday. You know, especially when we're here on a weekday, they're running every 5-10 minutes. Especially with the work traffic that has to go from Philly to Jersey and Jersey to Philly. You know, like a lot of people in Philly work in like Mount Laurel and Marlton and Cherry Hill. Those are very business-centered towns and cities. Or like Cherry Hill is 72,000 people as a population. But you would go there and you would just think it's a small town. Like you could drive for 10 minutes and you'd still be in Cherry Hill. It's very sparse. It's almost all just big suburbia. Back-to-back walks from Jackson, and this is going to load the bases. Somebody's getting warm in the Camden County bullpen, but again, they just have a warm-up on, so we're not sure who that is yet. So Leonard walks, and here is Sacramento, the lefty, with the bases juiced. No room at the inn. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Visit today for all the organic products that you need to have your pet live a happy and healthy life. Visit today for all the toys, food, cages, accessories, and more that you need 7 days a week. 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, or visit online anytime at exoticpetsnj.com. One pitch. That's a line drive, but it's going to be caught at second base. A big play to save runs by Caminotti.
He was about a foot in the air.
He had to leap for that one, and he saved one, maybe 2 runs from coming in, and that's the first out of the frame. As it'll now go to Gabriel Reyes, who had the RBI single in the second as a part of that 4-run frame. Jackson slips off the mound. It's a deep drive to center, and 2 people went for it, couldn't get it. It's going to go in the gap. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. It's going to be a bases clearing triple. Gabriel Reyes. That ball just kept on carrying and carrying. Or excuse me, no, that is a 2-run double. My apologies, 6-1. So a 2-run double off the bat of Reyes turns it over to the top of the order as Degnan, fouls it back, 0-1. So Leonard now on, Lombardi now on third. That is a base hit into center field. That will score both runs. Lombardi and Reyes, as back-to-back doubles burst this game wide open as Degnan drives in 2. It's 8-1. So back-to-back 4-run frames for the Roadrunners. And back-to-back doubles bring home a pair of runs, as now they are keeping Jackson in, but getting that bullpen action a lot more urgent as the scoreboard in left center field has 2 outs on the board. I'm not sure. I only have 1 out on my scorecard, because I have a single from D'Alessandro, a walk, another walk, the pop out at second base to Caminotti, and then the double by Reyes and double by...
Well, we'll go with 1 till it's told otherwise.
Yeah. Down low, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Fouled back. All of our social media for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting is in the bottom of this YouTube description, including our Venmo. We are a grassroots organization that always appreciates any contributions from the faithful, from the fans. We always appreciate anything we can get. As there's a fly ball out to deep left center field, that ball is back towards the scoreboard, and it is in play. That's going to be a double for Doolin. And now, still 8-1. I didn't see anybody cross the plate. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, the runner from second did score, so it is 9-1. They didn't update anything on the board yet. Should be 9-1 RCSJ. So, yeah, Degnan did score, and Degnan got the double. So now here's Polanco in his third at bat in 3 innings. He's the 8th man up. Yeah, it should be 9-1 and should be 9-1 and it should be 1 out.
Yeah, the umpire should be able to tell us. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we have up there. But we'll go with the flow until the inning ends, and then we'll check over with the proper sources at the break. Polanco gets a piece of it and fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner on second base in what should be a 9-1 game. But we'll check at the break with our guys, make sure everything's correct. Ground ball at the third, foul. Another one just tipped. RJ Mastero on deck for RCGC. Goes out and runs that one back to the umpire. Hey, now 1-0, come now, kid. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position. Outside to Ernesto Polanco. 3-2. Cougars now getting a little bit louder in their support for Jonah. Big spot here. 3-2. Oh, that one hit off the knob of his bat, so that will be a foul ball. That's the last part where you want the bat to hit the ball. Although I'd rather hit the knob than hit your hand. And yes, it had RBI double by Degnan. Brought in that 9th run, so 3-2. That is deep. That is high. That is far. And it is off the wall. And he saves it from going out from a ground rule double. He caught the ball above the wall to save it from being a ground rule double. The wind carried the ball out towards the 378 sign. It's back-to-back doubles. And on our count, it's 10-1 on the RBI by Polanco. Here is Mastero. Yeah. I mean, a 5 spot, or actually a 6 spot here in the third. Well, no, it's 6 because there was a 4-1 at the end of the second, and then they've put up 6 runs. But remember, 1 is not accounted for on the scoreboard. Yeah. So it is 6. 0-1 count to Mastero. So I saw you were looking through the footage. Did you see a second out anywhere?
No, not yet.
No, so I wonder what's going to happen here at the end. I wonder if they're going to pick up on that, because they should have a proper count.
No,
There's a swing and a miss.
They just put the score up to 9 instead of 10, so
They're walking off the field, and
I guess somehow we were wrong.
Either somehow we were wrong or there was a glaring error, because we're going to check over with this at the break, but we just had a 2-out inning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. All right, bottom of the third. We got things cleared up, so it is 9-1. They are correct, but there was a tag out at second base that was missed that we didn't see. Although, no, they just put a 10th run on the board, so... I mean, again, we are not the official scorers.
When they had the back-to-back doubles, I looked up, they didn't change the score.
Yeah.
And I did, and that's how I got a 10. So if I'm wrong, I'm apologize.
Yeah, but now they just put up a 10 on the scoreboard, so... That one skips in off of home plate, and it's going to be 1-0. But 9 men came to the plate for the second inning in a row, as it'll be Camden, Nick Napoli, and Kyle Iser. 2-0 from Dobbs. So we will reflect how it is on the scoreboard. And it is, in our book, 10-1 RCGC. Swing and a miss. Two balls, 2 strikes. Now I think we've gotten that behind us now. That one's a foul ball. Again, we'll just have to check with whoever's keeping score at some point. So yeah, we had missed an out somewhere with either Reyes, Degnan, or Doolin, one of them, but a strikeout by Dobbs now brings up Nick Napoli. Second strikeout in a row for Dobbs. His third this evening. The lights are on here. Sun is starting to set a little bit as we pretty much just hit 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Well, it's 5 o'clock right here.
The only drink I want is a hot chocolate.
1-0 to Napoli. Wind is starting to come in. Actually, the wind is starting to blow out, so we're seeing a lot more deep fly balls than...
Yeah, you can see on the net it's pushing the
Yeah,
net.
it's pushing the net in, which usually that's not the case, but 2-0 to number 2-0, and that's outside to make it 3-0. Green light. Strike one. So yeah, we had somewhere missed a tag at second base on a double. One of the 3 doubles in a row. That one is almost an excuse me swing. Caught by Kyle Iser in the on-deck circle. And the count is back to being full, but... So the score, 10-1 RCGC. Apologies for all the confusion, just we had made a mistake in our scoring.
We try to get it right.
We always try to get it right. I mean, it's nobody's mission to get it wrong, but it's back-to-back Ks. So here's Lizer, the catcher. But, yeah, I mean, same thing happened and for Timber Creek. That's...
Oh, here we go.
So... Yeah, from Kim Kavura, the second double of the inning was a single. He was thrown out at second. I will change that in the scorebook. Thank you for being attentive, Miss Kavura. So the second double of the inning would be, let's see, that would be not the Reyes double, but the Degnan double. So we'll change that to a single. Again, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I thought he was in with a double, so that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. And especially when you have 10 runs scoring in 2 innings, a lot of offense is happening at once. And sometimes you miss it. And in a small, like if somebody made an error scoring in Major League Baseball, you've got 50 people around you to give you, eyewitness
Right.
and to correct the mistake. But here, not a lot of people here.
No.
So if
We're
there's
trying to run a camera, a mic.
we're running an entire operation
Yeah.
here.
So we miss things once in a while.
Every once in a while it happens. We are human after all. But Mason Dobbs is wheeling and dealing He's had back-to-back strikeouts, 4 total in a 3-inning stretch. Two and two. Swing and a miss. He's going to strike out the side, and Lizer is taken care of. 3 innings through. 10-1 RCGC. New pitcher on the hill for Camden County. It is Zachary Holland, as Kyle Lizer took a tumble there just out of frame. Today's trivia time question for game number 2. We'll post the poll on X in just a moment. But today's question is, how many games did Cal Ripken Jr. play consecutively for his famous streak without missing a single one? Is it A, 2,632, B, 2131, C, 2710, or D, 3,349? We'll post that question in just a moment, and we will reveal the answer in the bottom of the 4th. D'Alessandro steps in. This is the 3rd time that he has led off an inning in this game, because RJ Mastero has kind of been the, I don't know what you want to call it, but he has ended 3 innings tonight. There's a ground ball to short, busting out of the box, and D'Alessandro is out at first on a 6-3 ground out. What? Yeah, it should be 9-1, but
They thought they were wrong, so they updated it. But if the guy was thrown out at second, when we saw the next double, we said we didn't see anybody cross the plate.
right.
But he had to because he was on second, but we didn't know he was thrown out.
There's a little roller up the third base line, foul. So we were wrong, and then
We told them, so they upped it to 10-1.
yeah,
We gotta let them know
we
it's
told
9-1.
them, and then they corrected their mistake, which turned into a mistake.
You want me to tell him?
Well, the 80's right there. We realized the mistake. It is 9-1. There was a runner thrown out at second that was out of our view. Yeah.
And then we didn't know that was out, so then when the next guy hit the double, we assumed he had come home. So it's only 9-1. I'm sorry about that.
0-2. There was an example last year versus Timber Creek where it was Timber Creek and Audubon. It was raining, so both of us were inside of our rain tent, and it was really hard to score and control a camera when you're in such tight quarters. But yeah, So we had gotten something wrong, and we thought that we had missed a Timber Creek run, or an Audubon run, rather. So we thought the game should have been over. There's a hot shot caught at third. Ify does it again. There's 2 down. So here is Lombardi, the catcher. Oh, 1. Ball 1. With Spacavento on deck. That one skips away. We'll explain it at the end of the frame. We got it. Two balls, 1 strike from Holland. Gets a swing and a miss out of here. Will be the first time today, or at least in game 2, that RCGC went down in order, and it would certainly be a big relief after a 4-spot and a 5-spot respectively. Full count and 2 outs. And he dives at one. Throw to first is a little low, and that is going to be botched. It goes into right field. So that will be a strikeout E2. And Lombardi will reach, ending the chance of a 1-2-3 frame. And this brings up Spacavento. So that will count as a strikeout for Holland. But it will also count as an error against Lizer. So here's Joe. Gets on top of it and gets the fielder's choice at second base to retire the side. RCGC goes down mostly in order except for that E2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Get ready to vote. It's 9-1 RCGC. Bottom of the 4th, new pitcher for RCGC, number 35, Danny Kerr. Today's trivia time question is, how many games did Cal Ripken Jr. play consecutively for his famous streak without missing a single game? The options are 2,632, B, 2,131, C, 2,710, or D, 3,349. Producer Donna, what is your guess?
B.
You're going to say B?
B.
You'd be half right. Let's take a look at that answer real quick here, as the correct answer is A, 2,632. That would be the correct answer until a late night in 1998 when he told his manager that he has to be removed from the lineup. Now, the reason why I say you're half right is because 2,131 is the number often associated with Cal Ripken, because that was the number Lou Gehrig had that he had broken. If you remember the famous game where he broke that streak, it ended up being a little interesting, but he actually played after he broke Lou Gehrig's streak in the mid-90s. He would end up playing 500 more consecutive games for a total of 2,632. I mean, the career of Cal Ripken is truly astonishing. You know, from where he came from and his dad being a manager for the Orioles in the early 80s. That one's hit well. Out to right field. D'Alessandro has a beat on it, and he makes the catch. One away, as Arter is retired.
Not even the producers here at DWB get an inside hint.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you know, it's not entirely false to say that 2131 is wrong, but that's the number that he broke.
That's cool.
Kind of like how when Barry Bonds broke the home run record, the number people associate with him is 756, because Hank Aaron had 755. That is a bullet back up the middle, and that is a base hit for Ify, his first collegiate hit, and it comes off of the new pitcher Kerr. So now here will be Callahan. Eric Berger on deck. Callahan steps in, takes the first pitch strike. They finally fixed the scoreboard. I wasn't going to say anything because they had it at 29-1, but they fixed it. So we're good. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Drive into success and drive into an easy process for getting your permit or your child's permit and license today by taking a road test in office at Harper's Driving School, Suite 4 at the Total Turf Experience in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. 0-2. To Callahan, the lefty, with traffic on base. Fouls it straight back. Oh-2. After the foul. Swing and a miss. Kerr with a strikeout. Here's Berger. Eric Berger, the Overbrook alum. I'm sure Greg Himes is very proud about his guy, and you know, Greg Himes, probably one of the nicest coaches that we've covered for in South Jersey. He's an excellent guy, family man. He knows how to lead a good ball club, knows how to lead a tough, disciplined team.
Sun has left.
Yeah, the sun is officially under the horizon. Over behind the office building back there. So it'll be getting even colder in just a couple of minutes. I mean, you know, game started at 1 o'clock.
The first game.
Yeah, first game started at 1. The reason why this took so long was the first game was almost 3 hours. And, you know, we've said before, when it comes to doubleheaders, game 1 almost always takes longer to game 2. Especially with the pitcher jitters and I mean, considering that this has been a relatively high-scoring affair, almost mirrored to what we had today in Game 1, very similar situation. 9-1 after 4 innings. We'll be right back. Made it just in time. Top of the 5th inning. And a first pitch bunt foul. Whew. There's another bunt. This time it's fair. Oh, it just got past Ify. But they're saying that he didn't touch it. So that mistake by Ify actually helped him, because him not touching the ball and him whiffing on it got a strike on the board. So it's 0-2. Happy accident, if you will. It'll be Reyes, Degnan, and Degnan. As Reyes rockets one to right center field, and sliding but not hanging on to it is the right fielder. He doesn't know that the ball is back in play. He doesn't know that the ball was back in play. And it's a double. Oh, wait. No, he is out. That's not a baseball in center field. That is a batting glove. I thought the baseball fell out, but no, he did make the catch. Callahan made the catch, but it looked like the baseball fell out. Oh my goodness. Talk about a complicated sequence of events right there. That's incredible. Great catch by Callahan. I didn't think he caught it, but he had a white batting glove in his pocket that looked like...
Yeah, he did a tumble on the grass. That must be when it came out.
Yeah, well, the batting glove came out, but he thought, or at least...
And there's the umpire going out.
Yeah, so the umpire saw it, but we did not. Yeah. Or at least I didn't. Because I saw this white thing in right center field. I'm like, oh, he dropped the baseball. Yeah. But no. That's a clean catch. Yeah. What a catch, Gavin Callahan. 2-1, got jammed. 2-2. But what a wild game this has been. We had an incorrect score, or at least what we had thought was an incorrect score. Well, yeah, a missed out on my part.
And mine.
An honest mistake, but it happens. Full count from Holland. That's foul. And then this inning started with a missed bunt that turned into a strike, and then in the exact same at bat, we had a fly ball that almost was a double. I was about to write down double in my book, and I'm like, wait a second, why is he going back to the dugout?
This is the game of everything that is weird will happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, the crown of that, oh, look out. That one goes to Overbrook Woodstown from last year. 3 hours, 8 minutes for a 7-inning game.
Yeah.
That's a deep drive to right. That might make up for the double, and it is gone! Home run by Degnan. He rockets one out to right, and our first homer of the 2024 baseball season goes to RCSJ. A solo shot off the bat of the leadoff man for the Roadrunners, Degnan. As the sun goes off into the night, so did that baseball. As Gavin Degnan, or rather, Degnan makes it now 10-1. After much confusion, now it is 10-1.
Now it's 10-1.
Now for sure.
They like us so much, they wanted to make us right.
Yeah, exactly. Wanted to make sure we were the good guys in the end. 1-0. Our first home run of the 2024 season, and it comes at Rutgers Camden.
Any day that's a baseball day is a good day.
Exactly. But a beautiful sunset here at Rutgers Camden. Can't see it too well because the sun is behind the horizon, but it's behind a building as well.
Bless you.
2-1. From Holland. That ball is hit well, but that's going to be playable in right center. This time, Callahan Sans hat makes the catch, 2 away. And here is Ernesto Polanco. Two one. And one misses downstairs, 3-1. If the inning were to continue, RJ Mastero is next. Ground ball foul. Three-two. Hot shot off the pitcher's mound. Takes a rough hop, but it is playable and taken in at second base to retire the side from Caminoti. But a home run to right field from Gavin Degnan. DWB Analytics estimate that ball went 370 feet to right field. But we are correct again. Going to the bottom of the fifth, 10-1 RCSJ. golden hour from Camden all the way to Philadelphia. It's the bottom of the fifth inning rather. Very, very pretty skyline. That one is back out onto the street on a foul ball. Strike called. 0-2. Tyler Napoli, Caminoti, and Nick Napoli. 1, 2, and 3 for the Cougars in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Don't forget, we will be back in action on Monday and Tuesday for South Jersey basketball action on the playoffs, second round of the playoffs. This time, indoors. Swing and a miss from Napoli. Third strikeout from Kerr. And that's the first out of the frame. All on swinging strikeouts as Caminoti comes up to the dish. First pitch from 35. Skips in. And it's 1-0. This broadcast is brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement. Make your dream kitchen come true today with wholesale cabinets and countertops at wholesale prices at heavily discounted rates compared to big box retailers. Visit today, 612 Creek Road in Belmar, next to the 42 on-ramp. Also brought to you by Vincent's Lawn Care as we break out of the winter and head towards an early spring, as Punxsutawney Phil predicted. Make sure you are set for your front yard, backyard, or anything in between. Call today, 609-413-0403. Services are available weekly, bi-weekly, or anytime. Just call Vince and get a rate today. 3-0 gets the green light. And it's 3-1. Players finding all different ways to stay warm. Got multiple layers on, and that's going to be fouled back to the top of the netting. And the count is full to Caminoti. RCSJ up by 9 runs in the bottom of the fifth inning. He got jammed. That's got to hurt. Ground ball to third. Reyes spikes the throw, and the turf helps him along, and that's going to be the first out, or rather second out of the frame. Sometimes you have to make those throws like that, especially in this colder weather. You don't have as firm of a grip on the baseball, especially if your hands aren't properly covered. You might have a hard time gripping the baseball. No one's outside. 1-0 to Nick Napoli. Or actually, no. Excuse me. Dan Obermeyer is pinch hitting for Napoli. Although, hold on here. No, I got something wrong here. Oh, I see what I did. I was one batter staggered off. So Guevara was the first batter who struck out. And then Tyler Napoli was the one to ground to do a 5-3. And now it's Dan Obermeyer as the PH. But a quick 3-0 and a swing and a miss. The stands are almost empty. I mean, it was pretty nice for game one, and then as it got colder, it just really died out as Reyes on a dive, or rather on a spinning throw, tried to get the spike to work at first. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. But Reyes just couldn't make that work. As Obermeyer will reach on what I am personally scoring as a base hit, but that might be up to further scrutiny at the end of the game. He got jammed on the first pitch. Oh, he's going to drop the ball. Somebody in the stands called it, and that's going to be an E6 as he just could not hang on to it. As back-to-back defensive blunders put runners on the pond. First and second here. 2 outs and something forming for Lizer. Takes inside. Tough call there, 0-1. Still got 2 more innings to play here in Camden. Kerr steps off. Camden County headed by John Scanzano, assisted by Dan Reese, Brian Gallante, Jack Dragum, and Matt Carpausis. There's a ground ball out to third. Reyes is going to have a third shot, and this time he caps it off to retire the side. 5 through here at Rutgers Camden, and Camden County, despite getting 2 runners on, fail to score. We've got 2 more innings to play. 10-1, Roadrunners. Lights are on, and we're going to need them here at Rutgers Camden. I didn't think going into the doubleheader that we'd need them, but considering that Rutgers Camden's DH yesterday, or doubleheader rather, started at 11:30 and didn't end until about 4:30, it's kind of a no-brainer that we're 5:30 right now, and sun is setting to our left, setting to the west. And it's a 1-1 count to Mastero, who has had a rather unfavorable game tonight. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and 2 of those 3 strikeouts, in fact, all 3 of those strikeouts actually, have been inning enders. So even when RCSJ put up 4 runs in the second and 5 runs in the third, what ended those rallies? An R.J. Mastero strikeout, unfortunately. I mean, especially for a cleanup hitter, that is not what you want out of your, quintessential piece of the order, is a bad game. But he's been good on defense. He's been good in every other aspect. Just the hitting has not been there in Game 1. And he's had a couple hits in Game 1. He had a couple of them in Game 1, just hasn't really had things materialize in Game 2. And he almost proved me wrong. That would have gone about 400 feet, but it's foul. D'Alessandro on deck. And for the first time today, Mastero gets on base. Ball 4. Here's D'Alessandro. Because of the cold weather, we will not have any post-game interviews today. We will save them for a later date. If we see RCSJ again, we'll just do a virtual interview or whatever. We'll talk to them a couple questions. But I think you and I can both agree that not just us, but the players, coaches, the fans, they want to get out of here as soon as possible. So we apologize for not having post-game interviews. They will for sure happen for the remainder of the baseball season. We just want to make sure that we have a swift and quick exit after tonight's festivities. And we'll have to get inside and get warm. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss by D'Alessandro. Just hanging on to a one-handed swing there. 1-2. With Peralta on deck for the Roadrunners. 9 of their 10 runs came in the first 3 innings. Jonah Jackson held them scoreless in the first. And Holland has kept them scoreless since, as a nice hanging breaking ball retires D'Alessandro, and there's one away. He thought it was outside, but a big strikeout there. And now Peralta at the dish. And if you're RCGC, you're already up by 9. And this was almost a double play, but instead no outs are recorded on an infield single by Peralta. Just took a bad slide at second base, or rather at shortstop, from Tyler Napoli. Outside. One 0 count. Hot shot to third. Ify takes a shot off the chest, and that will be an infield single, as just took a bad hop and couldn't do anything with it. And the bases are loaded for Holland. And Spagavento comes up. Remember, this game was supposed to be a 12 p.m. noon start. So we were supposed to be probably out of here by now, but I'm not exactly sure why they moved the game back. But I'm sure if it was 4:40 instead of 5:40, we would be a little bit warmer.
As soon as that sun went down, it felt like 20 degrees colder.
Yeah, it just dropped off. 2-0. I mean, everybody's just getting an extra layer on, and
I need another layer.
3 balls, no strikes, with the bases loaded, and we're running into the exact same problem we had in Game 1. As those bases loaded walks, they slow the game down, they unravel both teams, the pitcher, and you can tell Holland rattled here. A 4-pitch bases loaded walk scores Mistero. And it is 11-1 as Reyes makes his trip. We do have a pinch hitter on deck. Actually, no, I'm sorry, we do not. I got thrown off, but yeah, no, we'll be back to the top with Degnan and then Doolan, who hit that, Degnan hit that home run in the 5th. Out to right, again, that estimated distance there, 370 feet on the homer. Hit it out the other way over the Great Wall of Camden. I don't know if what we call it, but it's something. with Lizer setting up outside. The pitch goes outside, 1-2. Trying to draw him out a little bit, get him to chase on a 0-2. And it's gonna be 1-2. And the pitch to Reyes, swing and a miss. Strikeout for Holland, getting back on track. 2 away. There's a strike. It's got to be a great view from the Patco train because it's high up on the platform, so they can actually see the game while the train is moving by. When you're a car on the bridge, the high barriers to each side of you are too high up for you to actually see out of the bridge, and to the ground below. But when you're on the Patco train, you can see all that. It's got to be a great spectacle when you're going home from work and you see a glimpse of the Rutgers Camden game, or
it goes by too fast. You can't really check out the action.
Yeah, you get a glimpse of it, as you're going by. Outside, 3-1. I think we need to start seeing more balls as strikes. Oh, boy. And this is how games like this start to get out of hand, but that one is way up and way out. 3-2 to Degnan. He'll take outside, and that'll be another bases-loaded walk, 12-1. No mound visits, no action, not even a single player warming up in the Camden County bullpen. All the players that were sitting in the bullpen are now residing in the dugout. So either they are adamant on sticking with Holland, even through the bases loaded walks, or they're just throwing whoever they can out there, and I guess waiting until it's absolutely necessary to warm somebody up. One and one the count to Degnan. That's a rocket, deep left center field. This one's headed towards the scoreboard, and it is off the bottom of the wall. 1 run is in, 2 runs will score. Degnan parks it at second base, and a bases clearing double for Colin Degnan. Makes it 15-1. So Degnan extends the lead, scoring Lombardi, Scavanto, and Degnan. Lizer and Holland talking it over with 2 outs and yet another 5 spot on the board. This game is getting just as out of hand as... Yes, you are right. That's the temperatures. There's a line drive to left. And that ball is off the bottom of the wall. Ernesto, I'm sorry. I'm just losing track of everything. That's going to be an RBI double for Polanco. For Ernesto Polanco, 16-1. And they have batted around. So this brings up Mestero, who started the frame. And there will be a pinch runner over at second for Polanco, which will be number 25. Wait a second. So they're putting Bacavento back at second base. if I recall correctly. Is that who they have back there? We'll have to zoom in on that. Take a look. Oh, that's number 26. Okay. See, he has it right. He's got the baklava right over his mouth there. That is number 26, Augusto Del Carmen. You don't know what a baklava is? No. You're not a baklava. Like, I'm sorry. It is a baklava. It's, you know, it's a ski mask basically. That one skips in the dirt. Lizer, this one's going to head towards the Roadrunner dugout, and he slides before it gets out of play. Like we said, we talked to John Scanzano before the start of Game 2, and he said, if we lose this second game as badly as we lost the first one, I'm going to be really disappointed. Because remember, your first couple of games of the year are how you kind of set a first impression to everybody else that you play, whether it's in your conference or whether it's in your just in your inner circle. But, from an earpiece, I said I needed it to be switched out. Kind of like the PitchCom Major League Baseball that was introduced a couple of years ago. Except this is just an earpiece and not a full system. The pitcher does not have any technology on them. It's just the catcher. And the catcher communicates with the coach and in turn delivers the sign to the pitcher. Is it a 4-5-0 or is it a 4-5-1? You just get that communication from the catcher. He leaned in to the pitch, and that will be an automatic strike. Therefore, well, you could hear that loud as clear. They're saying that he leaned into the pitch, and therefore it's strike 3 and out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 16-1, RCSJ. Bottom of the 6th inning. Apparently the stream cut out a little bit when we had the lean in from D'Alessandro that ended the top of the 6th, but from what I saw, it definitely looked like he leaned in. Ground ball back to the mound, and he'll beat it out. So an infield hit for Ethan Arter. It's the old school way to do it. Chop it into the infield like a tomahawk and just get on. That's all you got to do in a situation where you're down by 15 runs. You just have to get on base. Do anything you can. Foul, 0-1. New arm warming up in the Camden County bullpen. And that appears to be Eric Berger. Eric Berger getting some reps out there. I didn't even know he was a pitcher. It's going to be like a Kyle Lizer situation where he's going from the DH spot to the pitcher. And the thing is that high school, pretty much every pitcher is almost forced to be a hitter because there's not enough spots especially in a Jersey situation, a Group 1 or 2 school, for there to be pitcher exclusives. If you're a pitcher, you better know how to hit because the team's going to use you for both situations, and if you're not good enough of a hitter, well, they're certainly not going to put you back on the mound unless you are really worth it. Unless you're an ace. I've seen it time and time again. They'll put these pitchers out there that can't hit, so therefore they get less pitching opportunities because they can't play both sides of the ball. They can only play one. It's unfortunate, but how it works. There's only so many roster spots on a team. He's got to go back. That's going to be, it hit the throw, hit the runner. So that's just one. It's caught at short by Ernesto Polanco for the first out, and he almost had a double play, but the throw hit the runner. So Arter, almost by accident, is saved. Here's Callahan. Strike one. And unfortunately, with the night, it has also gotten the wind worse as well. It was not nearly as windy in Game 1 as it is now. The real feel is 35. That's how it feels to us. But
To me, it feels 35 below.
I mean, the coldest Major League game that I ever went to was around 40 when we went to the Mets in 2018. Saw the Phillies. Yeah, the game got snowed out. That is a line drive to left. Camden County's still alive. They've got a base hit off the bat of Callahan, and 2 runners will be aboard. Runners on first and second as they've got ducks on the pond here in the 6th. Gonna need a cup of hot soup for dinner tonight. 2 singles in the frame for the Cougars, as Eric Berger was 5 minutes ago warming up in the bullpen, and now he's got to go bat. Talk about a mad dash. That's a line drive to center field. Eric Berger gets one down. He'll round first. He'll hold up there, coming to the plate, and scoring is... that is Arter, 16-2. What did LL Cool J say? Don't call it a comeback. Now, here is Tyler Guevara. Actually, no, this is going to be Donnie Gomez. So Gomez pinch hits for Guevara. Strike. So Arter around to score on that RBI single by Eric Berger. Both RBIs by DHs today. Kyle Leiser in the first inning, almost scoring at the bookends, if you will. One, two. Swung at a pitch low. 2 down. Well, the last thing you want when you're down by a lot is a strikeout like that. I mean, look, there's situations where it just ends up happening, and you got 2 runners on base. You at least want to drive them home. You don't want to leave them stranded. Back to the top of the order, and a fly ball hit well out to right center, playable. But who's got it? No, nobody's got it. D'Alessandro couldn't grab it. And now rounding second, heading for third with no throw. It is a 2-run triple for Tyler Napoli. and cutting into the deficit ever so slightly. It's like cutting a knife into concrete. It's 16-4. And now Vincent Sangataldo comes in to replace Obermeyer, who was the first pinch hitter. Actually, no, hold on. I'm sorry, it is Obermeyer. Read the 26 is 28, my apologies. Pokes this one out to right field. And it's caught. Inning over. They leave one runner on, but not without a good effort, as Napoli drives home 2 on a 2-run triple. We have one more inning to play, and then these fingers can finally be warmed up. 16-4, RCSJ. New pitcher on the hill here in the top of the 7th inning. It's Eric Berger, the Overbrook native and 2023 graduate. As Peralta steps in, first pitch curveball. For all 21 that are watching at home, we had a nice peak of around 50 viewers at one point, but very quick delivery from Berger outside, 2-0. To all of our viewers watching at home, be very glad you're watching from home. It is incredibly cold. Like we said, real feel is about 35.
I could probably lay down right now on the Flyers ice rink and be warmer.
And you've got several layers on. Yeah. Whoa, that ball goes behind the backstop, or rather goes behind the batter. Not in any way intentional, but Berger's he's a wild thing. He's Camden County's version of Gavin Cunard. Well, we started out, it was a beautiful sunny day. It was a swing and a miss.
At least sunny.
Yeah. You know, kind of like a little space heater in the sky. You could just put your hands up to the sun and you'd be able to warm up a little. But Now there is no sun to warm us up. Not even the street lights can warm us up. We're just going to, the bathrooms are still open here. We're just going to have to walk in there, turn all the faucets to hot, and then just...
There's no hot water.
There's no hot water in the sinks? There was in the men's room.
Oh, just the dryers.
Then I'll have to put my hand under the dryer. Swing and a miss. And Peralta is retired to bring up Lombardi. Player of the game candidate would probably be, in my book, either Mason Dobbs or, actually probably not even Dobbs. I would say it would be Gavin Degnan for the home run. Not just that, but also the fact that he has gotten on board all 5 times in Game 2. And not to say he isn't the only one, but just like we saw in Rutgers Camden's Game 2, every single RCSJ batter has reached base at least once. Degnan 5 times, Doolin 4 of 5, Polanco 3 of 5, Mastaro only once after 3 strikeouts in a row, D'Alessandro twice, Peralta 3 times, Lombardi 3 times out of 4, 2 and 2, and Spaccarello 1 time out of 4, and Reyes 2 times out of 4, including that RBI double in the 3rd. Skips in 3-2. I just point back to that Mike Rizzo sign in the Nationals bullpen at spring training. I don't care how fast you throw ball 4. He'll try it again. Ground ball out to 3rd, picked up by Ify. Throw to 1st. Is in time. 2 outs. So Ify takes care of business. Our schedule for this week will be mostly indoors. Tomorrow at 5:30 will be St. Joe's Hamilton and Gloucester Catholic in the quarterfinal round of the South Jersey Non-Public B basketball playoffs. And Tuesday, another 7 o'clock start will be Paulsboro and Pittman. That one is low, 1-1. Just considering how the defense has been for Camden County today across both games, I definitely thought that Ify play was going to be tough to make, but you kind of have to break it down play by play and not really judge their defense as a whole. I mean, they had 6 errors in Game 1, including 3 on one play, but only 2 errors in Game 2. That's ball 4. Here's Reyes. He's reached base twice today. Had a single in the in the 2nd inning. Doubled in the 3rd, bringing home a few runs. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Friday we'll be back outdoors and right back here. Penn State Abington and Rutgers Camden in out-of-conference play. That'll be a 3:30 p.m. start. And then Saturday will be a doubleheader, Rosemont and Rutgers Camden. Whew. I mean, I am one that is not always too affected by the cold. I mean, I take cold showers every morning. I'm not usually the person that's that affected by the cold, but my teeth are chattering. My knees are shaking. I don't know how these players are doing it so normally on the field. I mean, think about it this way. Even if you're a high school player, first practice is not until the 2nd week of March. Your first scrimmage won't be until the end of March, and your first game won't be until the 1st week of April. So, I get they have baggy pants on and 2 layers of thick jersey fabric, but even then, Reyes sends a fly ball to right. That is going to hook foul right to the 3-11 sign. 1-2. After March 2nd, though, our schedule does get pretty sparse. We'll have possibly more Camden County College on March 6th versus Montgomery County. As a slow ground ball, fired across the diamond to first. Barely got him. One more step and he might have been in trouble. We have one more half inning to play. 16-4 in favor of RCSJ. One more half inning to play unless Camden County puts up 12 runs. It will be 3, 4, and 5. Nick Napoli, Kyle Iser in the on-deck circle, and Ethan Arter. After 7 men came up to the plate for the Cougars in the bottom of the 6th inning. That one's outside. 2-0. Pops out of the glove of Lombardi. And it's 3-0. New pitcher for RCGC. That is Peter Dempster. Dempster, it is number 16, coming from Glassboro. I guess if he transfers to Rowan one day, he won't be far from the campus, but the 3-1 is a strike call. 3-2. Let's get a shot of that train. Or not, because our camera doesn't want to focus on the train. Ground ball out to short. Picked up. Throw to first in time. One away. 2 outs away for the Roadrunners. Yeah, even I, like I said, I'm a little more adverse to the cold, but even I have been starting to get a little restless. Again, this game started at 3:55. So we are about 2.5 hours in. Game 1 almost went a full 3 hours for 7 innings. And I thought college baseball had the pitch clock for the past couple of years. But here's my thing that I haven't done enough research on to know the answer to, is that I know that NCAA Division I baseball has the pitch clock. 20 seconds, just like it is in major and minor league baseball. But what I'm not sure about is that if that same logic applies to not just Division II and III college baseball or junior college baseball. Because remember, junior college baseball is not administered under the NCAA. It's administered under the NJCAA or even NAIA. Back-to-back ground out. So okay, so there should still be the 20-second pitch clock then. So
just this many scores, it's bound to, run long.
Yeah. 20 runs total.
5 hours, 6 hours into the day.
Yeah, we've been here since 11:45 this morning.
Yeah.
Our lunch consisted of chips and tasty cakes, as is the American tradition. 1-0 count to Ardor. Like we said, because of the cold weather, we will not have post-game interviews today, but again, that we're trying not to make that the norm. We just cannot stand here any longer. So we will pack up our stuff and we will get the you-know-what out of here. That's a ground ball foul. 2, Ardor versus Dempster. In a 12-run game, the 2-2 pitch on its way. Ball game! Roadrunners sweep the doubleheader. And finally, after 2 games, both over 2.5 hours, we are out of here. 16-4 the final. Your player of the game, presented by Harper Driving School, is going to be the leadoff man, Gavin Degnan, who had a home run in the 5th inning and reached base in all 5 times that he came up to the plate. So RCSJ improves to 5-0 on the campaign. They had a 3 Southern Maryland, and now they are back in action, sweeping Camden County College away from home at Rutgers Camden. That'll be all for us today. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for sticking with us through this cold weather. The final score in Game 2, RCSJ 16, Camden County College 4, as the final in Game 1 was RCSJ 11, Camden County College 0. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinator, Anthony DePalma, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan, my wonderful producer for sticking it out for all 6 hours, Donna Wilkins, I'm Dan Wilkins. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow versus St. Joe's Hamilton and Gloucester Catholic in the second round of the South Jersey Non-Public B playoffs for boys basketball. That's all for us today. I'm Dan Wilkins.